Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit, and today I'm joined by Gaurav Sekri, the Managing Director of Fratelli Wines, to discuss about the company's plans post IPO. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for visiting us.
Right. So, firstly, let me begin by asking on what is the expansion plans, how you see Fratelli 2.0.
So we are, essentially betting on India's growth story, India's consumption story, India's demographic, advantage that is there, and we are very, very optimistic that wine as a category, wine as a product is going to gain more and more acceptance in India. So we are essentially gearing up for that. We are looking to essentially double our capacity of wine making over the next 1 to 2 years, and we are sort of making investments in that direction.
All right. So, double the capacity to how much?
So we are currently a 500,000 case business.
Okay.
We are getting ready to be a 1 million case a year business.
Got it. And in terms of investments, what is the kind of investments that you have lined up?
At this point of time, we see ourselves spending anywhere between 50 odd crores in the next 1 year or so. But overall capex outlay will be about 100 crores over next 2 years.
Got it. India is predominantly a brown spirits market, but is there a growing appetite for wines in the country driven by the younger generation especially, and also the higher aspirations that we see in non-traditional markets?
Very much so. I mean, we are seeing, India is a large country. It's many countries within a country, right? So we tend to see very interesting trends where you will have a particular city or a particular state suddenly catching on to this to a liking for wine, and we see that reflective in sales numbers. A very recent example of that is Telangana. So we've seen very, very good growth in Telangana in the current year, especially Hyderabad city. Previous year it was UP, which surprised us with the consumption numbers. So in India, that is the beauty of our country. We have this fantastic young population which is now more aware, more traveled. They come back with those choices and lifestyles, and they are also getting very smart and wise on what is a good product, what is good quality, and that all fits very well with Fratelli.
Right, but any markets that you would like to pinpoint that are seeing like a lot of growth now, and are new markets that you would like to tap?
Pretty much all the tier 2, tier 3 cities have that inherent potential. It just depends on how and when a certain city kicks in. So cities in UP like Lucknow, we've seen very good growth in wine consumption. Haryana has always been a good state because of Gurgaon, but then the Gurgaon sales then tends to extend to some of the neighboring cities as well. Tourism is getting bigger and bigger in India. We are seeing how so many hotels have announced plans to build new hotels. A lot of traditional tourist destinations like Rajasthan state. These are the hubs which are seeing good growth.
Right. So what we have seen is that the global unrest have actually caused several international brands to tap the Indian market. Having said that, do you think that this could be a potential risk for Indian brands, and essentially if that would require government interventions?
I think our government will have to keep a very close eye. There are many European producers, for example, who are under stress because Russia was a big market for them. That's not an option as of now, and they're all looking towards India. So our government will have to be watchful as they negotiate trade agreements like FTAs, etc., to make sure that there is adequate protection, because India is not known traditionally to make wine. We already have a name for tea or basmati rice, but we are not known to make wine. So we need some protection from the government on such fronts. Indian wine should have a fair chance to at least be tried by consumers. If imported wines becomes terribly cheap, then people will not try them and they will not know what our wines are about.
Right, but at the same time, India is also looking at exports in a big way. And as far as the alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverage is concerned, India has set a target for exporting $1 billion of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. How will Fratelli play a role in this? Do you look at tapping more overseas markets?
We are certainly looking at those opportunities all the time, and at times even our trade commissions and embassies play a very good role in that. They reach out to us when they see an important show where they feel India should be represented, even for wine. So that support we tend to get. But saying that, whenever we are exporting wines, you're exporting with every other wine producing country.
Right.
Could be Chile, could be Argentina, could be French. The obvious ones, the Italian, French,
Right.
Australian wines. So I think that it will take some time. The results in exports will not be so immediate, as far as wine is concerned. I can only
Yes.
speak for wine.
Absolutely. Coming to input cost inflation, I would like to know how is the scenario looking like at the moment, and are you looking at any price hikes?
We are always looking at opportunities to charge a fair price that our products deserve. And inflation and cost escalation has hit us as well. Bottles is a large cost for us. We've seen glass prices go up,
Yeah.
so that has impacted us as well. But we are dealing with it. We are coping with it. It's not it's not to a level or an impact which is bothersome.
So do you think at this moment you would be absorbing it in order to, not to distort the demand?
So how you see, I mean, as you know, in India, alcohol is a state subject. All states
Yes.
act as different, territories. So there are some states where we feel we have an opportunity for hike, and we are, we'll be taking those.
Okay, so you are in talks with the state governments?
Yes, it's a process.
Process.
You apply, and there is a process of getting price hikes and approvals. Alcohol is heavily controlled and regulated.
Right. Just to understand it better, what would be the potential price rise that is required in order to protect the margins?
It is very hard to generalize like that.
Okay.
Each state is very different. There are some states where we see that opportunity, and in many states we are not seeing that opportunity.
Got it. In terms of the price segments that you're already a leader in the luxury segment, which is above rupees 2,000. So what role are you playing in the premium segment? Are you looking at expansion in that portfolio?
Our portfolio is adequate.
Okay.
We feel we are very well represented at various price points. There are some minor gaps in adding some new varietals, etc., which we are actively considering. We have just imported some new saplings. We are planting new vineyards, and I think that's the big differentiator between us and our competition in India, that we are farmers first and winemakers second. We have just we are in the process of planting a new 150-acre vineyard, and for that we've imported some amazing varietals which we wish to see them adapt and grow in India. So in those categories we will be probably launching some new products.
All right. And lastly, on the revenues, I would like to know what are the revenue targets that you have set for Fratelli for the immediate term as well as for the long term?
See, wine is a business which requires a lot of patience because it's a lifestyle product. It's not easy to build brands and build volumes in a lifestyle product. You really need the consumer to fall in love. So our focus is on that, is to make consumers fall in love, with Fratelli and what Fratelli is offering, and we believe sales will follow.
Right. But I'm sure you have a number in mind.
We expect to do better than the industry. Industry growth is at about 10%, 15%. I can tell you the historical number is Fratelli's grown at about 25% CAGR over last 3 years, and we are very happy with that growth. But our larger focus is on making the consumers fall in love with Fratelli.
Okay, if I have to dig a little deeper to again extract a number from you, do you look at 1,000 crore revenue, say, in the next 5 years? Is that something that is achievable?
That's very ambitious. In wine, that's hard to do.
Okay.
I don't think we're getting there. Like I said, our focus is also not that.
Okay.
We are not into making industrialized wines. We make artisanal style wines.
Right.
Our focus, our energy will remain in making the best quality product at a particular price point, which gives a fair return to us and our shareholders.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to us at NDTV Profit.